God did in your area as you decided to go out and serve. Andrew, I really appreciate your time. Really appreciate you sharing your story. In the future, we'll look forward to hearing what else took place throughout your journey as a student missionary, as a full-time missionary, as a task force worker. But thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining us. May God bless you as you continue to consider serving others that are in need.
What an inspiring showcase of what God is doing in the North American division. I was excited, thrilled to go from state to state to state to state and see how God is really impacting the lives of people involved and the people who they touch through Global Youth Day. Weren't you impressed? I was really impressed.
Indeed, because every time you know what they were doing this time, or what they will share, or what will be the story and the project that they were doing in that place.
There were some similarities. We saw lots of things that were happening, very rich in each of the communities that were involved with GYD. So, like for instance, a lot of people went out to thank firemen and policemen and doctors and nurses. People went on rubbish collections, and there were some generic things that people were really...
As blood donation also.
Yes, blood donations as well. That was really awesome. I guess we want to spend some time to reflect on just a few of them, and what impact that has on us as we reflect from the world perspective of these things. I remember there was one lady, Christina, just like you, Christina. She was involved in the San Antonio region and helped to galvanize a team to march. Do you remember? Do you remember that?
Yes, it was that march for freedom.
Yes.
On the rainy day.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Yes, it was difficult.
Had a really tough time. Okay, it was really just from the organization to the campaign and etc. and bringing it all together. She said one thing. Okay, she said it was like heaven. The youth were in unity. I thought that was beautiful.
Yes, because when we are doing something together, we forget about the difference between us, and also we remember that together we can do amazing things. And heaven is an amazing place.
And I think that when young people are fully engaged with active and practical ministry, barriers fall down.
Indeed, as we saw in every one of the cities and places.
Definitely. And they become more courageous. The same kind of courage that was found in Quebec as we went across. And remember the blood donations?
Yes, and the people, and I remember also our Cherise who is afraid about giving blood and needles.
Yes, our last host was so scared about giving needles. But do you remember what the host said, what they were saying in Quebec about the lady who was scared about needles? They asked her a question. They said, would you give it again? And do you remember what she said? She said that
it's worth it. She will do the next time
the
also.
Same girl that was so scared to give blood said she was willing to go. And so active ministry, no matter how scary it is, God grants the courage in order to do it. Well, I believe that we're going to rush across, unfortunately. Where are we going next?
This time we'll go in the land of chocolate, and we'll go in Mexico.
Yeah, some people have a sweet tooth will probably love this land, okay? And so we want to bring you to Eldon and Andrea in the middle of Mexico. Enjoy, be blessed, and be inspired.
Good evening to everyone and welcome to this special program. My name is Daniel.
Mine is Rachel.
I'm Antonio.
And I'm Martha.
We are very excited to begin this GYD segment with you live from Montemorelos University at the North Mexican Union. And we want to give a special thanks to our friends in the South American Division for their wonderful program.
And for the next 2 hours, we will be observing what has been happening in the Inter-American Division.
How exciting. I'm so excited for everything we're going to see in the next 2 hours. We know that the youth are on fire for God, and they are happy to be the sermon.
With us, we have Lixie, who will be following all the social media throughout the program. That's Lixie over there. So post your comments and stuff, which she will give you the instructions on how to post your activities onto our website.
Yes. Well, I will ask you all to join globalyouthday.org. That's globalyouthday.org. And that's a website just for this program. And you can log in, and automatically it will face you to Facebook or Twitter account. You can use the hashtags GYD15 and Global Youth Day. If you're a Twitter account user, you can use both hashtags. Again, it's GYD15 and Global Youth Day for connect with us and with all the people around the world joining in this Young Day initiative.
Great. Now we will watch a short video to see what has happened in North Mexico today.
This short video shows us what we've been doing, what's going on in this Global Youth Day. In this today, was early in the morning in the north part of Mexico. Are we ready with the video?
Well, while we wait for the video, let's go ahead and interview one of our own students who they went on some activities this morning, and we're gonna go and interview one of them. How about you? Come here. You wanna join me? Tell me, what's your name?
My name is Esther.
Hi, Esther. Okay, so tell me about what you did today.
Well, I had a wonderful group. It was some of these kids here, 4 of us. We went in approximately 15 houses, and we gave them a couple of literature, and we also prayed for them. I think they were really surprised that we were out there in the community, and they were really happy when we prayed for them as well.
Okay, wow, that's wonderful. It's good to hear that you did really exciting stuff. Thank you.
All right, we can go to the video right now. So let's see all the video, okay? Thank you.
At the heart of the church in Inter-America lies an army of 1.5 million young people who are sure of their mission, are eager to spread kindness, and are not afraid to be the sermon in their communities. Today, young people from across 37 countries and islands in Inter-America combine their efforts during Global Youth Day to show the love of Jesus with everyone they connected with.
In North Mexico, the hub of the Life program, young people hit the streets of this great cosmopolitan city of Monterrey to share food and clothing with those in need.
Among the activities there, young people sought the homeless at one bus terminal, talked with them, helped them clean up, gave them clothes, helped them dress, prayed for them, and ordered pizza and sat down to eat with them. One lady was so happy because the young people paid for her groceries when she went through the register.
No sé si me esté regalando esto, pero Dios me los mandó en momentos difíciles para nosotros.
Es importante que como jóvenes nos estemos involucrados en la obra de Dios, no solamente quedarnos sentados en nuestras iglesias escuchando y aprendiendo acerca de Dios, sino también de una manera activa dar a conocer el mensaje. Y por eso yo invito a todos los jóvenes a que participen, a que se unan año con año a este movimiento.
At the Centermex Convention Center, young people give out water to passers-by and spread some joy. In Montemorelos University, one of 14 universities across the Inter-American Division, hundreds of students and faculty went to neighboring communities in the city of Montemorelos to be the sermon. At the Elena C. Mancilla School, university students talked to middle schoolers, encouraged them to stay in school, and motivated them to dream big and reach their goals.
Today we are in the middle school of Elena C. Mancillas. We are working with this school because it has a lot of problems, and what we do here is that we teach them about responsibilities and the obligations that they have as citizens, and also we talk about how can they improve their life.
And teach us our freedom.
Young people led high school students from the Gustavo Farias Fernandez School to collect batteries door to door in some 70 homes at the Villa Hidalgo community as an initiative to bring awareness to protecting the environment. Public Campus Ministries Director for the Adventist World Church, Jovan Moon, enjoyed the day with the young people.
I have seen young people doing actually what Jesus baited them to do, which is to be the sermon and be an inspiration for our society. And today I've been deeply touched by our Adventist young people living the life that Jesus wanted us to live. So thank you. And I challenge all our young people to continue to be the sermon, not just one Sabbath, but every week, every day, we go out to our communities and share Christ's love with our neighbors.
Elsewhere in Inter-America, we know that scores of young people marched for health, shared hope, prayed in hospitals and nursing homes, held concerts in parks and public areas, and much more. We look forward to highlighting more of what took place in the cities and communities across the division as the live program continues.
Es un gusto saludarles desde la Universidad de Montemorelos, donde la División Interamericana tiene su sede de acción para reportar lo que está pasando en nuestro territorio en el Global Youth Day.
Nous saluons chaleureusement toute la jeunesse adventiste de la Division interaméricaine depuis le site de l'Université de Montemorelos. Bienvenue à vous tous à la journée mondiale de la jeunesse adventiste.
We are happy to report how about 70,000 people are involved in our division to participate in Global Youth Day.
Sí, es un evento y todo el mundo, toda la juventud, tenemos allí un grupo que está representando solamente los millones de jóvenes de la división, y vamos a decir, de la generación poderosa de la división interamericana.
There is a powerful generation here in the Inter-American Division.
Estamos emocionados de poder decir que nuestra juventud está participando en este Global Youth Day.
Are participating this Global Youth Day.
Siendo el sermón.
And they are being a sermon.
Vida sermón es más que un eslogan.
To be a sermon is more than a slogan.
Porque estamos convencidos de que cada uno de nosotros debe permitir que Cristo sea encarnado en su vida.
We are convinced that Jesus Christ should be incarnated in our lives.
Ayer tuvimos la oportunidad de participar, Luis, ¿recuerdas? En una actividad con los jóvenes.
Yesterday we were able to have an activity with young people, remember?
Algunas de las cosas que vimos aparecieron en el video. ¿Qué pudieras comentarnos acerca de tu sentir en ese evento?
Video. What could you tell us about this?
Fue un día extraordinario.
It was an extraordinary day.
No se trataba de predicar un sermón.
It wasn't about preaching a sermon.
No se trataba de escuchar un sermón.
It wasn't about listening to a sermon.
Se trataba de vivir un sermón.
It was about living a sermon.
Y podíamos ver los jóvenes.
And we could see young people
acercarse,
come close,
de incrédules,
and be close to people, embrace them.
¿Cómo hacer eso?
And how could they do that?
Es solamente una persona que vive el sermón.
The only way is to be a person who is living a sermon.
Que puede acercar de ellos.
That he can come close.
Está a punto de darle un beso.
And they're about to give him a kiss.
Aquiso sentarse con ellos.
And sit down with them.
Comer con ellos pizza.
Eat with them pizza.
Eso es
that
vivir el sermón.
Living a sermon.
En Interamérica.
And Inter-America.
La juventud.
Youth.
Están.
Are.
El sermón.
our sermon.
Y estamos realmente felices porque no solamente la juventud de la iglesia
because not only the youth of the church
está participando en esta actividad.
Are participating in this activity.
Muchos jóvenes que son visita en nuestras sociedades de jóvenes.
Many young people who are visitors in our AY society
se están involucrando.
Are getting involved.
Vimos ayer a dos niños.
Yesterday we saw two young people
cuyos padres confían en la iglesia.
Whose parents trust the church.
Y les dieron la oportunidad de participar con nosotros.
And they're giving us the opportunity of participating.
Esos dos niños fueron para ayudar a comprar la despensa que fue donada a esas señoras que tenían necesidades especiales.
Those two children were there trying to help buy the food that they were going to give for those people.
Y pudimos ver el impacto en la vida de estas personas.
And we could see the impact of those people in their lives.
El esposo estaba enfermo.
The husband was ill.
Y nos pidió incluirlo en nuestras plegarias.
And he asked us to be included in our prayers.
Y en realidad me sentí muy emocionado de tener la oportunidad de orar por él.
And I was very thrilled to have the opportunity to pray for him.
It was a wonderful time. And I wonder if all the young people from Inter-American Division could enter in a supermarket and tell to people, I am ready to pay for you, but not me. God is paying for you. What a day. Yesterday, we make the difference in Inter-American Division and especially in Montemorelos. Praise the Lord for the war. Praise the Lord for the Global Youth Day. Praise the Lord because we are the sermon.
We are the sermon. Our leader in Inter-American Division, Pastor Israel Leito, is a youth leader. He has a great experience. He was youth leader for many years. And this afternoon, we are ready to receive a message from Pastor Israel Leito. He is in Colombia, but he prepared a message for us. We are ready to receive this message from our leader, Israel Leito.
Welcome, Pastor Israel Leito. The young people are waiting for your greeting.
Global Youth Day. What a time to celebrate. It is so nice to think that you seldom get unhappy young people. Youth are always celebrating. And as we celebrate Global Youth Day, it is very important for us to fix our mind on what it means to us and where we are going with it. To be young is to prepare to grow up. But as you grow up and as you celebrate this Global Youth Day, you also have to establish goals in life. And we have to determine, do you want to be here forever or do you want to go to heaven with the Lord? Sister White helps us to understand this issue when she says in Patriarchs and Prophets, page 622, those who in their youth cherish a sacred regard for the will of God and who faithfully perform the duties of their position will be prepared for higher service in the hereafter. This is what Global Youth Day is all about. Celebrate youth, but always looking to the future, looking to that glorious day when we can be with the Lord forever. May the Lord bless you as we celebrate together. And never forget, we celebrate now to rejoice tomorrow with our Lord. May the Lord bless you in this Global Youth Day.
It's always good to hear words from our church leaders. So now we get to see Pastor Ted Wilson, our Adventist World Church President, who is also in Colombia.
Meetings to youth all throughout the Inter-American Division and all over this globe. You see, we're here in Colombia, in the beautiful city of Medellin, and through the technology of today, this will be broadcast through Montemorelos University to the world. Global Youth Day. What an exciting opportunity for you to meet in the morning to worship God and then go out and be the sermon. I encourage every one of you to stay close to the Lord every day, understanding His will for your life, understanding through Bible study, through prayer, and then through witnessing, being the hands and feet of Jesus. I want you to remember also this beautiful promise in Scripture, Lamentations chapter 3. Through the Lord's mercies we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion. I hope that you make the Lord your portion every day. Be faithful to God, because he is faithful to you. God bless you on Global Youth Day and every day. And may we soon meet when Jesus comes. What a fantastic Global Youth Day that will be. Maranatha.
We're very glad to be the hosts of this special event. So now we get to introduce you to our church leaders in the North Mexican Union to tell us a little about the church and the young people right here in this union.
We have Pastor Martin Aramburo, treasurer of the North Mexican Union, and Pastor Oscar Rivera. He is the youth ministries leader. So tell us, Pastor Aramburo, how does the North Mexican Union feel about having this program host from your region?
Realmente es un gran privilegio para nuestra unión.
It is a privilege for our union.
Y en nombre de la administración de nuestro campo, de nuestra oficina, queremos agradecer a la sede, ¿verdad?, de la División Interamericana para la realización de esta actividad aquí en Montemorelos.
And in the name of the administration of our offices, we would like to thank the Inter-American Division for having this event here on our campus.
Realmente está siendo una gran bendición.
It has been a tremendous blessing.
En todo el territorio de nuestra unión hay una gran actividad en todos los campos y estados de nuestro vasto territorio de la Unión Mexicana del Norte.
Throughout all of our territory, and all of our campuses, we are having a tremendous impact on people that are with us.
Justo en este momento, nuestra universidad en Navojoa también, una universidad hermana a Montemorelos.
At this present instant, in Navojoa, Sonora, one of our sister institutions,
nuestro líder, el pastor Luis Arturo Quín, está comandando a 300 muchachos que están en las calles de la ciudad de Navojoa, proclamando el nombre de Cristo Jesús a toda esa comunidad.
Our president, Arturo King, he is over there and he is commandeering all of the young people that are in the city of Navojoa.
Pastor Rivera, what can you tell us about the young people and their role evangelism in your big cities? For example, in a big city near from us like Monterrey.
De hecho, bueno, venimos llegando de Monterrey hace unos momentos.
We just arrived from Monterrey a few moments ago.
Uno de los símbolos más temidos de estos días es cuando la batería del celular está baja.
One of the most feared symbols is when your cell phone says no more battery.
Así llegó mi celular porque los muchachos me están mandando fotos, imágenes de todo lo que están haciendo en los 14 estados del norte.
And that is one of the conditions of my cell phone, because young people are sending messages and photos of what they are doing throughout the whole territory.
Pero ya que la pregunta específicamente la ciudad de Monterrey, estuvimos ahí con un grupo de jóvenes en la casa hogar Douglas.
And since you asked me precisely about Monterrey, we were there with a group of young people in Douglas, a home for young people that don't have a home.
Donde nuestros muchachos hicieron una fantástica labor con los niños que residen en ese lugar.
And our young people did an exemplary work with children in this place.
Pero también tenemos una actividad fantástica que hicieron los muchachos en San Nicolás de los Garza, en el norte del área metropolitana.
We also had a tremendous activity in San Nicolás de los Garzas in Monterrey,
donde los muchachos armaron un comedor para atender a personas de escasos recursos. Fue una actividad muy bonita que se dio durante este día.
Where they put together a cafeteria for people that don't have any food, and it was a tremendous activity this afternoon.
Eso por mencionar algo, sin mencionar Guadalajara, Tijuana, Chihuahua, Ciudad Juárez y todo lo demás.
That's just mentioning a few without going into Ciudad Juárez, Guadalajara, and Tijuana and others.
Thank you so much, Pastor Aramburo and Pastor Rivera, for the update on the youth here in North Mexico. Now I believe we have a live Skype chat with the city of Acuña.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing? Yes, ma'am. Greetings from Ciudad Acuña, Coahuila, Mexico. We're very blessed because we impacted the lives of many people today.
That's really wonderful.
We made an activity at the stoplights of a busy intersection.
You did today.
We touched the themes of health, marriage, violence in the home, no littering.
Hello. I'm really excited to be here. Greetings to everybody. We put up posters, and as you can see behind me, we're united as brothers and sisters, and we're really happy to be here.
Oh, wow. Hi, I just want to mention about a great miracle. This morning in this city was a bad rain condition, but the 7 churches in this city was praying a lot, and the Lord blessed. After 1 o'clock, the rain stopped, and it's why we are here, making a great impact in this city. So I hope God bless you in the whole world.
Yes. You can see all these people here, all the guys. We are so happy, we're excited. You know, you can see it right here, showing our hands. You know, we are so excited right here, and we got a really nice experience in here with all brothers and sisters in Ciudad Acuña.
Hello.
All right, thanks a lot for this updating of what you have done today. And it's really great to hear about all the things the church have done and the young people have done today in this special occasion. So we're going to be doing an interview right now, Martha.
All right, let's see what else has been going on here in Montemorelos today. Why don't you come over here with me? You too. Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Anamil.
Anamil?
Alexandra.
Nice to meet you both. So tell me what your experience has been like today.
Well, our experience has been very fulfilling because it's just really nice to be able to go out in the communities and have a chat with the people there. Well, yeah, we gave out some magazines, some books, and I feel the people were really receptive. It was something simple, but the fact that we took our time out to go and talk to the people, it seemed like, you know, it left a good impression, and we were able to be an example. And it was, in a way, a sermon.
That's really good. Thank you for sharing.
Well, we're very glad to know what our own people has done in our own community. So right now we have a beauty report from the Caribbean Union. So we all can see that beauty report from the Caribbean Union.
A program sent to us by the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists through the Inter-American Division has also been implemented with great success in the Caribbean Union. Every year, our numbers grow larger and larger as more young people participate in random acts of kindness. They're in the communities giving blood to help those who are ailing and sick. They are ministering to the aged in convalescent homes. We've also seen them on the streets sharing meals, giving food baskets, delivering fruit, bottles of water, and caring for orphans. All around the Caribbean Union, in every island, the watchword is Global Youth Day.
Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the helpless, confused.
It feels great. I mean, you know, that we could assist in bringing a smile to many people's face.
Take your candle, go light your word. Take your candle.
This year, because Inter-America is celebrating its Vision 1 Million program within the Caribbean Union, we were unable as a union to have this program on March 21st as advertised. Since February 14th, and various Sabbaths between then and March 21 today, Global Youth Day has been celebrated by the Caribbean Union Youth, and they are doing a tremendous job at being the servant and spreading the gospel through the examples of kindness.
Still holds a candle.
As the Seventh Adventist Church, we understand that part of our responsibility is to develop in our young people an ethos of civic responsibility. That is, life is not just about what I can get, but really it's about the heart that gives, it's the heart that gathers.
Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle.
We thank the General Conference and the Inter-American Division for bringing this program to us, and we look forward to having it year after year as we make a global impact for Jesus.
Before we continue, let's go to Lixie, who has a special announcement about a fundraising event that's been taking place here at GYD.
Yes, in fact, who knows where Vanuatu is? Well, I have to confess, I have to Google it. Vanuatu is near Australia, and some of us had heard the news that Vanuatu was struck from one of the hardest cyclones named Pam, and we are joining efforts with ADRA, and we're collecting funds to help them, to feed them. We have a lot of brothers and sisters in that island, so we're asking your help to donate. And I have a website that you can log on, and it's very easy for you to go and help. The website is donate.globalyouthday.org. May I repeat? Donate.globalyouthday.org. Please help us to help these other friends, families, brothers, and sisters we have in Vanuatu. And obviously, we have to pray for them, but also donate through this website. Thank you.
Wonderful. That's wonderful information. But now we will have an interview with some of the people that we have here. All right? So you tell me, what's your name and where are you originally from?
I'm Joshua, and I represent Chiapas, the union. And
so tell us now, how do you celebrate the Global Youth Day today? Tell us about your experience. What did you do today?
Well, it was a great experience, and let me tell you that we can put in practice great advice, that is to open people's hearts. We have to look for their necessities, so they can hear God's voice. So we were talking to everyone and asking for their needs, and so they can be confident with us.
Good, that's amazing. But I want to ask you a last question. Tell me, what was your experience and how you feel about what you did today?
Well, I feel great because I feel like Jesus, God's power, being an instrument and being a tool to help others. So it was like following an example of Jesus here on earth. He's the great example of how be the sermon.
Very good. Be the sermon is the most important thing. Thank you so much for your experience. These people is here and they are sharing, they are reaching people, not what Jesus said, but what Jesus did in his ministry. Now, they are telling me that we have a Skype video call with Chiapas Union. Chiapas Union, do we have a Skype right now? Yeah. Hello, can you hear us? Hello, is anybody there? No, I think we don't have a Skype right now. Hopefully we'll be working later on.
All right, so we're going to make another interview right now. Okay, let me see. Who can I take? Can you come with me, please? Can you stand up? Okay, can you tell us your name and where are you from, please?
My name is GYD15. I come from Togo, an African country.
All right, and what was your experience today? What did you do this morning?
Today we went to some communities in order to share with them the gospel about Jesus Christ.
And what did you learn? What do you have for your own knowledge from all of this?
About all this, as Adventists, I learned that we have to share this gospel with those who don't know about Jesus Christ.
All right, thanks a lot. Can you please be seated? Thank you for sharing. It's great to know how much our young people are helping to others in order to create a better understanding of what Jesus has done for us. So we can keep moving forward with the program.
Yeah, awesome. I think it's been such an amazing experience to all of us today, this Global Youth Day, because it's a day that we can be the sermon, right? Be in the sermon and not just think about what can we do, but we do the things with things that they're good to do, all right? So we have a lot of people in here, so I guess that we can do another interview with all of them. Hopefully we will have enough time to do so, but I'm not sure if they all want to talk about their experiences. So what is going to be next is we're going to do another interview, but now I'm going to show you to come to the stage and tell us what did you do today and in this Global Youth Day and how you feel about it.
Well, today we went to Senior Citizens Home, and well, some of the things that we did there, we sang with them, we prayed with them, we talked to them, and they really were very appreciative of the fact that we took time to come and spend with them.
Good. Where are you originally from?
I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago. They are going to connect later on, but it's good that you represent this union could be here and could do the same thing that they do, like be the testimony, be the sermon, Jesus Christ. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Why don't we go over to Lixie and see how social media is going? Have people been posting pictures or posting any comments that we can see?
Yes, actually, the website is going on. If you have the time, to log in and read all of it, I have selected a few posts that they are very interesting. One of them, it comes from Brazil. If you have Brazilian friends, you know them, you know how happy they can be. Well, they created a theme song, and you can log on in YouTube and look for it. It's the Global Youth Day theme song, and it's very, very good. And it's translated as well. It's in Portuguese, but you can read it, the little words in Spanish and in English as well. So if you want to learn about the theme song, you can log in into YouTube and look for it. Another tweet we have is from the youth in Colombia. They share very creative ways that they are impacting their community, like visiting hospitals, but not just visiting them. They dress up like clowns. They have balloons with them, they share with the children or with the parents. And also, they have something really nice that I have to tell you. They call it in Spanish, abrazathon, which is a hugathon in English. What they do is that, the young people go around like in a big bunch, and they hug whoever is in the middle, people from the community. I thought that was very funny. But they do that on the big plazas. So they go around in a big bunch and they hug each other. So it's really nice. And I will share a little bit more about it because I think we have a Skype connection.
Thank you, Lixie. Yeah, we'll keep checking the social media as we go on. I think we're going to try to connect with Chiapas Union again through Skype. Hello, Chiapas. Can you hear us?
Hola.
Hello, Chiapas.
¿Estamos ya?
Okay. Hi, can you tell us how your
Perfecto,
experiences
muy
have
bien.
been
Buenas
today?
tardes, queridos hermanos. Estamos aquí desde la Unión Mexicana de Chiapas, en uno de los distritos sedes que fue parte del programa de testificación juvenil de este día. Nos acompaña también el pastor Yanni Junco.
¿Qué tal, queridos amigos? Dios les bendiga mucho. Estamos aquí en la Asociación Centro de Chiapas y fue en la mañana una gran bendición. Todos los jóvenes salieron a testificar en el nombre de Cristo.
It has been a nice blessing to be here with all the people in Chiapas. We're so happy to be here and we're so happy to have worked for Jesus Christ.
Tenemos un testimonio de la experiencia vivida este día. Queremos escucharla, queremos transmitirla brevemente.
We have an experience today of what we have done.
En esta hermosa tarde nosotros fuimos el mensaje
In this afternoon we were the sermon.
y nos fue muy grato poder repartir las tortas en el hospital regional. Fuimos alrededor de 50 hermanos a repartirlo.
We were 50 people and we were going to a hospital. We gave 50, we were 15, we gave sandwiches to all the people.
Y recuerda que tú y yo somos el mensaje en este hermoso sábado.
Remember that you and I are the sermon in this blessing Sabbath.
Gracias a Dios por darnos esta hermosa experiencia. Hoy también en la Unión Mexicana de Chiapas fueron repartidos cerca de 1 millón de libros.
Today we have given around 1 million of books in Chiapas.
Niños, jóvenes y adultos fueron partícipes de este programa de testificación en todo el estado de Chiapas.
Adults, children and youth were part of this program of testification in Chiapas.
Glorias sean dadas a Dios porque nos ha dado la oportunidad de unirnos a este programa de transmisión mundial en la que la juventud de Chiapas se ha unido para decir somos el mensaje.
We give the glory to our God because we're the sermon.
Queremos terminar dándoles este grito con los hermanos de esta iglesia y jóvenes de esta iglesia de las terrazas. Todos juntos, por favor.
Nice participation of Chiapas Union. So guys, I have a question. How can we be a sermon?
Well, it happens when you every day try to be the best you can by Christ, because you only depend on Him and you try to be the best that you can because He's happy to see you being the best. I think so.
Okay, good. By our own living, we can do it too. Another opinion? How can we be a sermon?
I think, yeah, like kind of what you said. I think the way we live, the example we show people, the way we talk, the way we interact with others is a good way to show Christ, and it's the way we can be the sermon.
I think that sometimes words just stay in the air, but when you try to live what you believe, is when people can see Christ through you. And this is, I think, the objective, the goal of every Christian, that any other people can see Jesus through your life, the way you live, the way you talk, the way you interact with others. I think that's kind of be the sermon, not just say a sermon, but be the sermon.
Yeah, and I think you really have to have Christ in your heart, because if you try to do it on your own, like you try to portray yourself as a Christian, or you try your hardest, it's not going to show. But if you really have Christ in your heart, you will do anything, and it won't even be difficult for you because it'll just come naturally to you.
How do you think this Global Youth Day is an amazing opportunity to us as Christians show others what Christianity really is? You know?
Yeah, all right, well, let's keep going with an interview. Rachel, you have an interview to do?
Okay, I'll go. So tell us, what's your name and where are you coming from?
Hello, my name is Emerald and I'm from India, but I also come from St. Lucia, which is where I live right now.
Interesting. And how do you feel that you could project to the community today? What did you all went and do?
Well, today, my participation was with the Master Guide Club Ixtus. I'm actually in uniform. We had a really good time because we had to go to the community called Bougainvillea, and we had to practically promote a program called the health program, Quiero Vivir Sano. So it's pretty good. We had to go tell them how they can take care of their health and also give some revistas or magazines that they can help themselves out and better their health and also know about Christ.
Thank you. So did you feel that you were a sermon for those who you went and shared the word with today?
Yes, definitely, because a sermon is always something that needs to be told to an audience, and that's exactly what we did today. We proclaimed what we know about Christ and how we can better their health so they can take care of themselves.
Okay, thank you for your participation.
Wow, wonderful. Now I think we have a Skype video call with Curacao. Hey.
On this day, on this live streaming, we are from
Curacao.
And this powerful Seventh-day Adventist Youth of Curacao did different kind of activities during this day and also during this week. And Christy George will tell us about these activities.
Yes, we had some of our young people, they went out to wash police cars. Can you imagine? The police protect the country, but now we pay them forward. We washed their cars for them. Also, we had young people measuring blood pressure from the passerbyers and praying for them, letting them know that God will listen to them, God will help them. Also, we had young people going to elderly homes, singing for them, preaching to them, letting them feel themselves well and getting the attention they lacked so much. We also had people who fed the poor.
Exactly.
Many people walk around without food, and our young people, our tremendous young people, went out today and they fed the poor. And it's not only today, they've been going out throughout the week. We also had some who painted a school, so when the students go out, they would see their schools brand new. So they would get encouraged to start learning again. And we also had sharing of water, bottle of waters, we had sharing of bread, and they preached and talked to the people, explaining them what God means to them. And the most important point, the most beautiful point I found is when they went into a bus, they stopped the bus along the road, they stepped in and they shared bottles of water to all of the passengers in the bus. How do you like that?
That's amazing. And you know what, Christy? And the word Curacao is like David. Small in its size, but powerful in its Seventh-day Adventist youth.
Exactly.
And with that, we want to say that we from Curacao are
Wow, wonderful. Curacao. Curacao is being the sermon in their place today. I'm glad to hear that we are not the only ones that are doing this, that are trying to show others Jesus Christ, but also all the Inter-American Division and all the world is connected doing the same thing. Today, we are the sermon. But now, I think we have another Skype interview. Okay, so we stay right here. That's wonderful how the Inter-American Division is working on to be the sermon today. So I have a question for all of you that you are in the backstage. The question is, how can you be the sermon? So I want a volunteer. If not, I'm going to ask directly to one of you. I see a friend out here. I haven't seen you in ages, my friend. So tell me, how can we the sermon in a day like this, a Global Youth Day?
Well, pleasant good afternoon. My name is Cleon Hyatt, and I represent the island of Jamaica. And as a youth, how we can impact, or how can I be a son to those around me, is through the life that I live. But more importantly, how do others see me? How do I interact with others for they to see Jesus within me?
Wow, well, that's good. And it's something that every Christian wants to do. Yeah? Thank you so much for sharing your way of thinking.
Okay, right now we have a connection via Skype with Belize. So we're happy to see them. So we're connecting right now with Belize. Hi, good night. Can you hear me? Hello, Belize, can you hear me?
Just delay.
Hello, Belize. How was your experience today? What did you do over there?
From country of Belize, where we have been working from altitude. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
What was the reaction of your people over there? How was the young people has been working over there?
The Belize Union, that we have had hundreds of young people impacting the community. And now we are here to give a report in a few seconds. Some of our leaders are tell us.
Can you tell us about something, about any project you have working with? All right, well, we lost the connection. Well, we're going to make another interview.
Today it was we had a lot of fun. We sang with them, we did the reverse, we gave them Bible, and it was so awesome. Amen. Yes.
Today, for Global Youth Day today, we give up stickers and things that are healthy for living.
Amen.
Today we went to the hospital and there was this and then it went up, so it went down. So
yes.
we gave it
Amen. Yes. Certainly.
Well, we're excited here. We're excited. We have closed up Sabbath and we're so excited. We cannot wait until next year for us to celebrate what?
And we are still here at the Facebook account and the Global Youth Evangelism and Global Youth Day. We have a lot of things going on, and let me read one of them. I have one from Caleb. He's from Lima, Peru, and he said, "Being young doesn't make me a different Christian, but being Christian makes me a different young man." And another post here from the South American Division in Quito, Ecuador, they said that they create a human tunnel. And when people walk through it, they receive a cheerful clapping and making people smile. Sure, you guys know how to make people smile. And that's what I love about the youth. They have so many creative ways of connecting with people. Another one I have is from the NAD, and this is from New Hope Adventist Church. And they partner with another church in Washington, D.C., and they went and distribute food to the homeless. So that was a great initiative as well. And I remind you to go online and log on and share your stories, share how you impact the people today during the Global Youth Day. Another one is from New Delhi, and Joel Rao says that they are having a health fair with screening tests, chair massage, and a lifestyle counseling. All of these free to the community, so they are impacting people this way. Also in Canada, they are in downtown Toronto feeding the homeless, and also Simon Douglas says, "It's been an amazing experience. I want to do it every Sabbath." This and more you can find at globalyouthday.org, and also you can use the hashtag Global Youth Day and hashtag Global Youth Day, and you can go on Facebook, and the Facebook account also interacts with this globalyouthday.org. And please share your stories, share your pictures. We want to know what you are doing.
Estamos muy contentos de estar esta tarde en la Universidad de Montemorelos.
We're very happy to be here in Montemorelos University this afternoon.
Realmente hemos tenido una experiencia maravillosa durante el día y ha sucedido alrededor del mundo también.
We've had a wonderful experience this afternoon, and throughout the world we have also seen it.
Estamos aquí porque estamos dirigiendo el departamento nuevo, recién estrenado alrededor del mundo, que tiene que ver con un ministerio a favor de los jóvenes adventistas que estudian en universidades no adventistas.
We are here because we are starting a brand spanking new department throughout the world. We are helping young people who are studying in non-Adventist universities, and they are Adventist youth.
Y antes de introducir a un gran amigo que tenemos con nosotros ahora, quiero felicitar a este grupo de jóvenes que se involucraron en la idea de hoy yo seré el sermón.
And before introducing my friend here, I would like to congratulate this group of young people that were involved today with being a sermon today.
Yo quisiera verlos de pie a todos, porque este día ustedes decidieron seré el sermón. Y yo quiero que ahora, en lugar de mencionar lo que les sucedió, yo quiero que ustedes den un grito juntos y digan, yo fui el sermón.
I would like for you all to stand, and instead of preaching and saying something about what you all did, we would like to hear you give a great shout saying, I was a sermon.
Vamos a mandar un mensaje alrededor del mundo y diremos a la una, a las dos, a las tres.
Say it throughout the world.
No, más fuerte, por favor.
Louder, please, louder.
Esto era alrededor del mundo, no se alcanzó a escuchar ni en Montemorelos. Vamos, yo fui el sermón. Una, dos, tres. Vamos, ahora sí. Ellos fueron el sermón hoy.
They were the sermon today.
¿Y cuál es nuestro anhelo en las universidades públicas? Que esto se reproduzca.
And this is what we want to do in our public institutions.
Que podamos tener la experiencia de que todos los días tenemos un sermón viviente en distintas ciudades de Interamérica.
So that we could have the experience for every day, everybody living a sermon in their institutions throughout the Inter-American Division.
Y permítanme introducir a un buen amigo que está con nosotros en esta hora.
I would like to introduce a good friend of mine that's here with us this afternoon.
Resulta que él es elegido por la Conferencia General.
It so happens that he is the chosen one from the General Conference
para desarrollar un ministerio especializado
to develop a specialized ministry
por los jóvenes universitarios alrededor del mundo.
In favor of young university students throughout the world.
Y quiero presentarles a ustedes a GYD15.
And I would like to present you GYD15.
Yo no he quitado los lentes, pero tengo los ojos casi tan chinitos como él.
I haven't taken my glasses off, but my eyes are just like his.
Pero déjeme decirles que él es originario de Corea.
But he's originally from Korea.
Ha trabajado muchísimos años en Canadá.
He's worked many years in Canada.
Ha hecho un extraordinario trabajo alrededor de los jóvenes universitarios.
And he has done a tremendous work with young people, for university students.
Y la Conferencia General ha decidido que él sea nuestro líder a nivel mundial y estoy contentísimo de poderlo desempacar en el área de Interamérica y especialmente en la Universidad de Montemorelos.
And the General Conference has asked him to work throughout the world, and I'm very happy to have him just come in, and he is starting his work here in Montemorelos University.
GYD15, platícanos un poquito de la misión. Tenemos un lema. ¿Qué queremos alcanzar en este ministerio en la Conferencia General?
We have a goal, and tell us what the General Conference wants.
Before I say anything, I wanted to greet those who are here. Buenas noches, Mexico.
Buenas noches.
Vamos a contestarle.
Wait a minute, maybe I didn't say that right. Let me do it
no
one more time. Buenas noches, Mexico.
Buenas noches.
Well, I wanted to thank you for the invitation for me to join this very special live broadcasting. I must start by bringing a special personal greetings from Pastor Gilbert Kanji. I know that this live streaming has been happening all over the world. If he has a choice, I'm sure he wants to visit each and every site. And I'm here bringing his love to you. Some of you know him as Pastor Giver, and he is excited, and I personally thank him for his leadership and being the visionary in creating this movement. The movement asking our young people be the hands and feet of Jesus and to be the sermon. There are 53 weeks per year, and we set aside one Sabbath to charge and inspire our young people to go and once again to tread the path that Jesus once walked and be the sermon. And I wanted to thank Pastor Kenji for this inspiration that he has cast to the world church. Speaking of public campus ministries, I'm thankful that if you are attending colleges or universities and are non-Adventist college or university, I wanted to let you know that the church is taking it very seriously, that you need to be cared for, and they're committed in providing ministry presence for all of you. So, Pastor Hiram has asked me to share the mission statement of the public campus ministry of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Today is a Global Youth Day, and I wanted to talk more about Global Youth Day, but since he's asked me to share this opportune time for us to share the mission statement, I'll share that with you. My device is not working, so let me do it from my memory. The mission statement of Adventist Public Campus Ministry is to inspire Seventh-day Adventist students to be disciples of Jesus and empower them to share the everlasting gospel on campus. Amen? And the motto is, follow Jesus, embrace his mission, and to change the world. Today, this Global Youth Day, I have seen with my own eyes how our Adventist young people can change the world. If you believe it, yes. Do you believe it? Yes. I want you to stand up and I want you to greet the world audience. I want you to say as loud as you can, Feliz Sábado and Happy Sabbath. And you know what? I know Pastor Kenji is watching, and I want him to know that the youth in Mexico is alive and well. And I want the world youth to be inspired by your energy and what you have done this weekend. So in the count of 3, I want you to say Feliz Sábado and then Happy Sabbath, and say what? Be the sermon in Spanish.
Fui el sermón.
All right?
Soy el sermón, vamos a decirlo, ¿está bien?
Ready? Are you ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Soy el sermón. Otra vez, vamos. 1, 2, 3. Happy Sabbath.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. I want to share an exciting experience that I had yesterday. I had a privilege of joining the youth when they were doing the Global Youth Day at Monterrey. And there were many people who are less fortunate than we are, and we noticed some people who are homeless. And I saw one young man talking to this person whose appearance was very obvious that he's homeless. And so he was talking to him, and the appearance of this homeless person, he's dressed really poorly. And I noticed this young person noticing the feet of this person. He wasn't wearing socks. And right that moment, I noticed this young person kneeling down, taking his shoes off, and he was taking his socks off. He was taking his socks off, and I was wondering what he's going to do. I was watching whether he's going to give his own used socks or what he's going to do. But what I found him do is get some cash out of his pocket, gave to one of his friends, and said, go in and get the socks. And I saw him bringing the pair of socks, brand new socks, and giving it to them. I saw our young people clothing those who were naked and who were in need of clothing, and I was deeply touched to see that yesterday.
Una maravillosa experiencia, sin duda, G1, la que vivimos ayer.
It's a wonderful experience that which we lived yesterday.
Encontramos también a una dama tirada en el suelo que tiene 3 meses durmiendo en el estacionamiento de ese lugar.
And we also saw a lady lying on the floor, and she had been sleeping there 3 months in that parking lot.
Y mientras platicábamos con la persona que tenía que ver con la cuota de salida del estacionamiento,
and as we talked to the person who was charging for that parking lot,
nos decía algo que me partió el corazón, G1, y quiero compartir con mucho cariño con nuestros amigos que nos ven alrededor del mundo.
That person said something that really touched me deeply in my heart, and I'd like to share with all those who are watching.
Ella me dijo, hace 4 años mi hermana desapareció aquí en la ciudad de Monterrey.
4 years ago, my sister disappeared here in Monterrey.
No la hemos encontrado más, no sabemos de ella.
We haven't found her. We don't know where she might be.
Y entonces ella me dijo, el nombre de mi hermana es tal.
And she told me, my sister's name is so-and-so.
Le prometí, vamos a orar por ella para que ella pueda aparecer.
And I promised her we will pray for her so that she could come back.
Pero me dijo algo que me llenó de ternura, porque me dijo, cuando yo veo a esta persona en el estacionamiento.
Nevertheless, she told me something that filled me with tendership. I mean, I was really tenderly touched, because when I see this person sleeping
Decía
here,
pienso en mi hermana, quizás dónde estará, qué estará pasando ahora.
I think about my sister. Where might she be? What is she going through?
Y yo me he preocupado y yo ahora la estoy cuidando a ella, que no la vayan a atropellar, que tenga comida, que de alguna manera esté protegida, aún en la condición donde
And I'm very concerned because I don't want anybody running her over. I want her to have enough food. I want her to be safe right here in her own condition.
Ella no sabía, pero ayer y los días anteriores se convirtió ella en un sermón vivo para bendecir a otros.
Even though she didn't know it, yesterday and all these days, she has converted herself into a living sermon in help of others.
Lo que has tomado como una iniciativa para llevarla alrededor del mundo, déjame decirte que muchas personas que aún no son de nuestra iglesia están viviendo esa maravillosa experiencia, ser el sermón, viviendo este tipo de detalles para favorecer a otros.
I would also like to say that many people, doesn't matter what denomination they might be from, they have taken this upon themselves and they are living sermons, helping others.
Pastor Yuan, hay muchas iniciativas que tenemos que tomar para que nuestros jóvenes se establezcan permanentemente en sus vidas, ser un sermón diario.
Pastor Moon, there are many initiatives that we have to take that will help our young people to be living sermons every day.
Y anoche platicábamos un poco sobre algunas iniciativas y aprovechando que está el rector de la universidad en este lugar.
And yet last night we were talking about different initiatives, and also knowing that Elder Castillo is here, our president.
Una de las iniciativas que nos gustaría que nos ofrecieran todas las universidades alrededor del mundo.
One of the initiatives I would like for all of our universities throughout the world to offer us
es que ofrezcan una clase en línea de Biblia.
That they could offer an online Bible class.
Pero que pueda ser un ofrecimiento de la clase que el muchacho la pueda tomar aquel que estudia en universidades no adventistas.
A Bible course that all of those young people that study in public or non-denominational universities might be able to take.
Y que él tenga la oportunidad también de tener su clase de Biblia y ser sostenido a través de esa clase.
So that he too could also have his own Bible class and be sustained throughout this Bible class.
Ser un sermón en el campus Yuan.
In the experience where he might be a sermon in that campus where he is. What do you think?
That is an excellent idea. I wanted to talk about what Mexican youth did yesterday that caused me to do something that I would not normally do. So if you would allow me, yesterday, so as I saw this person giving his socks, almost gave his socks away, but he was doing that, someone approached me towards the end, approached me and said to me, in English, I was surprised, he used to live in the States, he said, I'm in need of a pair of shoes. I'm trying to go back to my home city, but I don't have shoes to wear. And I was put on the spot. Wow. You know, there were other youth around, and I was put on the spot. And I didn't know how much shoes cost here in Mexico, and I didn't know what to do. And I was just pausing for a moment. But it gave me the courage to inquire about it. So I went to one of the youth and said, how much a pair of shoes costs here? Thankfully, you know, the figure that he said, I had just had enough in my pocket, and I got it out and gave to him and said, please buy shoes for that person. You know, the young people, what they did yesterday inspired me. That is the first time that I bought a pair of shoes for a stranger. And I wanted to thank the Mexican young people for inspiring me yesterday. And I think that's what the Global Youth Day is all about.
Y queremos invitar no solamente a nuestros jóvenes de Interamérica.
I would like to invite not only inter-American young people.
Quisiéramos invitar a los jóvenes alrededor del mundo. Sigan siendo el sermón todos los días del año.
Nevertheless, we would like to invite young people throughout the whole world. Keep on being a sermon every day of the year.
Sean un sermón en las universidades públicas.
Be a sermon in those public institutions.
Tú puedes hacer cosas muy sencillas, pero que son muy significativas para los que están a tu alrededor.
You can do very simple things that are very significant for those people who are with you.
Cosas tan simples que se hicieron ayer como abraza a aquel que está allí. Abrázalo y dile, oye, es que Dios te ama y puede hacer algo por ti.
Simple things like going out and embracing somebody and say, God loves you and He could do something for you.
No es lo mismo pasar por él y ver lo que está en necesidad y decir, ay, pobrecito, ojalá que alguien lo ayude.
It's not the same going by him and say, hey, there's somebody in need, a poor man, I hope somebody helps him.
Pero qué distinto llegó en verdad cuando vimos a aquel muchacho quitándose el zapato y decía, póntelo, este es mi zapato.
If he sees somebody that needs some shoes and says, here's my shoes.
Y el otro estaba mirando la posibilidad de ponerse el zapato y decir, puede ser mío. Pero esto se necesita vivir, muchachos, todos los días de nuestra vida.
The other person might be looking at the shoes and say, hey, these could be mine, but this is something that we have to live every day of our lives.
Si Jesús te abrazó, abraza también a los demás.
If Jesus embraced you, embrace somebody else.
Y este es nuestro ministerio, GYD, que queremos que se reproduzca no solamente en Interamérica, sino que se reproduzca en tu liderazgo en todo el mundo.
And this is the ministry that we would like to reproduce, not only in Interamerica, but throughout our ministry throughout the world.
Pastor Iram, I was just thinking about something, because I want to just pick the brain of our finest young people that Mexico has to offer. So I'm going to put them on the spot and ask them to give one sentence. What is Global Youth Day for them? Is that okay?
Okay.
Maybe we can go over there, and I will be on this side, you will be on that side, and we ask them to answer the question in just one sentence for the world to hear. You can do it in French. By the way, for the French audience, I want to say Bon Sabbat. And for those Spanish-speaking, Feliz Sabado. And to Korean audience, I want to say 기쁜 안식일입니다. And to my Italian friends, I want to say Buon Sabado. But anyways, I want you to think about one sentence. Just think quickly, and I'm going to go here, over there, and back and forth. The question is, what is Global Youth Day? Spanish, translate?
¿Qué es el día de un sábado el día joven global para ti? En una sola oración, ¿qué es?
Being Jesus' disciple. Giving the method Jesus gave.
Sharing the gospel.
Partager l'amour de Jésus avec les autres.
Love the people like Jesus loved people.
I think the most important is living the day and show them.
It's sharing Jesus' love.
Spreading the knowledge that we receive here in this university to other people that don't know it.
Share all that we have to others.
Is love my brother. Youths in action for Jesus.
Letting your light shine.
Okay. Give what Jesus has given to me, give it to somebody else.
Compartir a Jesús.
Un día para amar.
Deny myself.
Un día para servir.
Ser sus manos
y sus pies.
Love others.
Spread the gospel as Jesus did.
Compartir el amor de Jesús.
And we have two last people. You just said it, right? Okay. So one last person. I want you to think about a little bit more than one sentence, but summarize everything that was said. And I want you to say something that everyone will quote from you. Okay? You understand what I just... Okay. Right. Ready?
So it's to practice with Jesus' example. And to do that, we have to feel the sermon so we can be the sermon.
Okay. Let's give everyone a big round of applause. I'm sure this is the answers that we'll hear. Oh, there's one more.
Reflejar con las demás personas lo que Dios haría con nosotros.
Okay.
Reflejar con las demás personas lo que Dios haría con nosotros.
Reflect with other people what God would like for us to do.
Thank you very much. And this is the answers that will be spoken in thousands of different languages in the world. Right, Pastor Iram? And I am inspired. Thank you. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Señor Ritas and
jóvenes,
chicos
y chicas. Esto queremos que suceda todos los días.
This is what we'd like to see every day.
Queremos decirle a nuestro líder mundial, Gilbert,
We'd like to tell Gilbert, our world leader,
tú estuviste en esta universidad dirigiendo una semana de oración.
you gave us a week of prayer in this institution.
Nos invitaste a hacer el sermón.
You invited us to be the sermon.
Nos contaste la historia de tu vida, que es un sermón.
You told us the story of your life, which is a sermon in itself.
Nos hablaste de las luchas que los jóvenes tienen alrededor del mundo.
You spoke of struggles young people are having throughout the world.
Y esta hora queremos decirte, Gilbert,
And
la
Gilbert,
Universidad de Montemorelos,
we would like to tell you at this moment that Monmouth University,
la División Interamericana,
Inter-American Division,
ha adoptado esta tarde la posibilidad de seguir siendo un sermón.
has adopted the idea of keep on being a sermon.
Y Campus Ministry,
And campus ministry,
que tú has impulsado y que ahora estamos nosotros para apoyar en este departamento.
which you have promoted, and we are here to support you in this
Nos
department.
comprometemos a impulsar a la juventud interamericana.
We are committed to help young people take a stand.
Ir a todos los países que corresponden a nuestro territorio.
And all the countries that are in our territory,
Las 24 uniones, llevar en nuestro corazón el cometido.
all 24 unions will have our commitment in our hearts.
Cada día de nuestra vida seremos un sermón.
Every day of our lives we shall be a sermon.
G1, ¿qué quieres decirle a nuestra juventud interamericana? Esta es una oportunidad maravillosa para escuchar palabras, para impulsar este ministerio
What would you like
especial.
to tell our young people of Inter-America? These are a wonderful moment to give words of encouragement.
I believe when it comes to following Jesus, it's not just coming to the foot of the cross, but we have to be prepared to be crucified as Jesus died for us 2,000 years ago. So I ask and challenge our young people, especially over 1.5 million Adventist college and university students who are on public campuses. You're being sent there as ambassadors. You're being sent there as messengers for the gospel. You're being sent there as missionaries to live the missionary spirit, which is the spirit of Jesus, the spirit of self-sacrifice. So I wanted to thank all of you and the audience. Thank you for participating in the Global Youth Day. And to my Mexican friends, I want to say muchas gracias, señor and señora.
G1.
And viva Mexico.
Viva México. G1, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros en
Thank you
este
so much
evento
for being here
especial.
with us in this tremendous event.
Gilbert, gracias por apoyarnos en este evento de la División Interamericana.
Gilbert, thank you for supporting the Inter-American Division with this event.
Y tomamos el compromiso, seremos el sermón.
And that is our commitment. We shall be a sermon.
Interamérica les dice,
Inter-America is saying,
1, 2, 3, be the sermon. Everybody.
¿listos? Be the sermon. 1, 2, 3, be the sermon. One more time. 1, 2, 3, be the sermon.
Hello there, friends. Greetings to everyone from the East Venezuela Union. I am excited to share with you all what our young people are doing.
We are excited today because more than 5,000 powerful generation young volunteers are joining the Global Youth Day all over our territory. Youth along our 7 local fields have been working every day a year in the missionary and social project called Smile, God Trusts You, caring smiles and providing hope in their communities and health institutions. Planting trees, donating blood, haircutting, cleaning parks, health and missionary journeys are some of our activities. Our challenge is to prepare many more young people so they testify to the power of the Word of our God.
Today we say from East Venezuela Union.
Wow, what an amazing video of what is going on in Venezuela. But now we have a Skype video call with Monterrey. Let's see what they have to tell us today. Hey, can you hear us? Come on, tell us a little bit what you did today.
Mexico. So we're very excited because this is the first year we are participating in the global youth activities. So we are showing through acts of kindness the love of Jesus. So since yesterday, the activities began. A group of people went with homeless people. They gave them food. They spent the day with them so they could have a different day with them. So it was a happy experience for everyone involved, I think.
Our church, our district is trying to run a community center into a very poor zone of the city, so we decided to start our activities there. We walk through the streets of this zone and we pray for the people and the needs of the people of this zone. Also, we change bottles of water for cigarettes, and the most exciting activities, I think, were the after-lunch activities. We run some social experiments to prize the kind of the people.
As a local conference, we're very grateful with God because He gave us the opportunity to participate by local churches in different activities. We were talking with the youth people, and they were saying that they participated visiting shelters, orphanages, praying with people in the streets. In the main street, they were singing verses of the Bible. We visited hospitals, and the most important thing is that we had the opportunity to exit the building and to be the church, do what Jesus would have been doing. So as a local conference, as you can see, if you turn the camera, we are here, all the youth people, celebrating together, finishing this Sabbath together in the museum, in the history museum. We're going to throw Cantoya balloons to the sky. In spite of the weather, all the youth people in our local conference are here sharing the love of Jesus. It doesn't matter that it has been raining all day long. In the local churches,
Let's see. Are there any more pictures, posts, comments that you want to share with us?
Yes, there's many. One of them comes from Rio de Janeiro. We have our friend Rachel that wrote, there's something as simple as giving away a hug to a person in the community that makes them smile. So she did that today a lot of times. She gave away free hugs in Rio de Janeiro. Also in Puerto Rico, they said they were giving away frozen treats. You know how Puerto Rico can be really, really hot? So they were giving away frozen treats in exchange for prayers. And I thought that was really nice. Another one comes from Frankfurt, Germany. It says they were making a difference, giving away bags with food necessity for food, with the basic stuff for them to eat to the homeless in downtown Frankfurt in Germany. In Panama, they had a blood drive, and the campaign said, the best type is your type. Give life, give blood. And this is in Panama. Also in Spain, in Madrid, some of the young people visit a house for orphan children, giving away toys and hugs. So those are some of the initiatives that young people like you are doing today.
So let's watch now a video report that will be from French Antilles and Guyana.
Sans ta lumière, Seigneur, que ferions-nous dans ce monde perdu au large, dans le brouillard, au gré des vents? Je possède une maison sans ta lumière, au-delà du ciel. Où irions-nous dans ce monde? La mer est immense, sans ta présence, que ferions-nous? Comme un phare dans la nuit, tu brilles sur tes enfants, tu nous guides vers le port, au cœur de ton amour. Comme un phare dans la nuit, tu brilles sur tes enfants, tu nous guides vers le port, au cœur de ton amour. Sans ta lumière, Seigneur.
To continue with this Global Youth Day working, we have a special connection by Skype with the Central Mexico Union. So let's see what they were doing today.
Central Mexican Union. We are very glad to be sharing with you from Mexico City. Here we have 5 conferences, and each of these are in its section. The 5 fields that make up our union are the Metropolitan Conference, the Aztec Conference, the Bajío Conference, the Valley of Mexico Mission, and the Mexican region. Some of the activities that have happened during this year with these missions are SDA literature was delivered in Guanajuato, and in the state of Aguascalientes, hospitals were visited, food was provided for families, and a group of volunteers trained. In the state of Mexico, in the cities of Toluca and Acapulco, also in the city of Tenango, a project was set up. The food was sent for huts. Also, clothes and blankets were delivered. In the state of Guerrero, books and fresh air. Last year, in Mexico City, 1,500 books were passed around. In of Mexico, Central America that make a stop in their way to the north were provided with clothes, shoes, and scattered to clean up the streets. Also, in some places, water was exchanged for cigarettes. Besides this, they and provided also in the state of Mexico, there are currently 30 missionaries from the One Year Mission Project, giving Bible stories to 500. We're thankful for the blessings that God has given us with these projects, and we pray that He makes all these projects prosperous and all the efforts taken to grow. Next year, the Global Youth Day and the
Más enfrente.
Muy buenas noches para todo el territorio de la División Interamericana.
Good evening to the territory of the Inter-American Division.
Cada vez hay más personas que hablan español en la Iglesia Adventista en el mundo entero.
Every day we have more Spanish-speaking people in the church throughout the world.
Y aunque decimos be the sermon,
and even though we say be the sermon,
vamos a decir ahora nosotros somos el sermón.
We will say in Spanish, somos el sermón.
Y estos muchachos de la Universidad de Montemorelos
and these young people from Montemorelos University
son el sermón todo el año.
Are the sermon the whole year long.
Porque como parte del currículum,
because as part of their curriculum,
ellos hacen servicio comunitario todo el año.
They practice community service throughout the whole year.
Están participando en varios proyectos.
Participating in many events.
Alrededor de la universidad en la región.
Here around the university in this whole region.
Y también en varias partes del país.
And different places in the country.
En 2 semanas,
in 2 weeks' time,
estarán saliendo a diferentes partes del país, en el norte y en el sur.
They will be going to different places here in Mexico, both North and South Mexico.
A seguir siendo el sermón.
To keep on being a sermon.
La Universidad de Montemorelos es una institución multicultural.
Montemorelos University is a multicultural institution.
Este semestre tenemos estudiantes de 57 países.
This semester we have students from 57 different
Y aquí
countries.
tenemos estudiantes que pueden hablar en el inglés.
And we have students here that can speak
Ya los
English.
han escuchado.
You have already heard them.
Y tenemos otros estudiantes que en español son el sermón.
And other students that in Spanish, they are the sermon.
Son sensibles a las necesidades de los demás.
They're sensitive to other people's needs.
Son sensibles a los problemas de la comunidad.
Sensitive to people, the community's problems.
Tienen sensibilidad y responsabilidad social.
Not only sensitivity, but also social responsibility.
Nosotros queremos que sean profesionales,
We would like for them to be professionals.
que se conviertan en un sermón permanente durante toda su vida.
And they will be a permanent sermon throughout their lives.
Así que deseamos desde Montemorelos
Therefore, we would like from Montemorelos
que los jóvenes profesionales
for
transmitan un mensaje.
professional young people will transmit a message.
Los profesionales de la iglesia seremos un sermón permanente.
Professionals in our church will be a permanent sermon.
Es nuestro mensaje.
That is our message.
Vamos ahora a mirar el video de lo que es el servicio comunitario.
El servicio comunitario ha formado parte de las actividades de la Universidad de Montemorelos desde sus mismos inicios.
En los años 1953, 55, por ahí no había medios de comunicación ni medios de transporte. Entonces llamaban de los alrededores de Rayonas, Ibarrilla, Galeana, al pastor Baxter, algún médico, que fuera a esos lugares a buscar algún enfermo, algún paciente herido, un accidente, una señora de un mal parto. Entonces pedían que fuera la avioneta con una enfermera, por supuesto el médico. El pastor Baxter, acostumbrado a volar en montañas peligrosas, pero ahí había el riesgo de que no había una pista. Y él le decía al presidente municipal, yo voy, pero mande a sus hombres que quiten las piedras más grandes que hay a la orilla del río, y ahí vamos a aterrizar. Siempre procuraban llevarme a mí, yo creo que por ser la más chiquita y delgadita ocupaba menos lugar y podía venir más pacientes.
A lo largo de sus más de 7 décadas, el servicio al prójimo ha sido practicado por el personal y estudiantes de la institución.
El Grupo Alma inició con un grupo de estudiantes de la Escuela de Medicina que hacían campañas en épocas de vacaciones, principalmente en Navidad. Eso fue a finales de los 70s. Ya a principios de los 80s el Grupo Alma empezó a crecer más y empezó a hacerse actividades de obra misionera cada sábado por la tarde. Íbamos a diferentes lugares de la región, se lograron levantar varias iglesias, hacíamos evangelismo médico misionero, atendíamos pacientes, predicábamos, dábamos estudios bíblicos. Fue una época muy bonita, llegamos a tener más de 300 miembros.
Estamos justo saliendo de la universidad para dirigirnos al servicio comunitario. En esta ocasión es a cargo de la Facultad de Administración.
En los últimos años, el servicio comunitario ha llegado a formar parte del plan de estudios de la UM.
Salón va a quedar muy bonita, pero vamos a ver cómo lo están haciendo.
Así, el servicio a los demás llega a ser una experiencia por la que pasa todo estudiante de la Universidad de Montemorelos, una experiencia que impacta la vida y la llena de sentido.
Cada semana, los estudiantes de la Universidad de Montemorelos tienen la oportunidad de salir y servir a los demás a través de los proyectos de servicio comunitario.
El objetivo del servicio comunitario de la Universidad de Montemorelos es que nuestros estudiantes desarrollen un espíritu de servicio hacia los demás, siguiendo ese hermoso ejemplo que nos dejó nuestro Señor Jesucristo.
To continue, we have a special message via Skype from the Interoceanic Mexican Union.
We are the Mexican Interoceanic Union, and we are in Pachuca, Hidalgo, and we want to say hi. Hi to everyone. My Pastor Don is here, and Brent is activities to we did today.
Hi. During this day, we have done so many activities here in Pachuca. One of the activities is the t-shirt food to the poor people. Another that we eat in the park or the street of the
So we will continue with another interview. I'm gonna come over this side. I want you to tell us what is your name?
My name is Gerson. I'm from Venezuela.
Interesting. And what can you tell us about how can we be the sermon?
One important thing is that to be a missionary, you don't have to go so far. You could be right here and express the love to other people, share the knowledge that you have learned, and live the life like Jesus lived in this world.
So tell us a little about what you did today to be the sermon.
Well, today we spread the word. We talk to other people. We give magazines. We give books. And interesting, some people were interested to get some biblical studies. And we pick up some people, get the names, the address, the telephone numbers, and we will be visiting them so soon, like next week.
Okay, thank you, Jerison. Let's go to the second row. Let's come here. I want you to tell us in short words, how can we be a sermon?
Well, first of all, you have to learn how to love other people. But to do that, you have to know how Jesus loves you. And with that, you can really be a sermon.
Thank you. Now we will be presenting a video report from North Colombia. Let's listen to it.
La Iglesia Adventista en la Unión Colombiana del Norte cuenta con un ejército de 50.000 jóvenes que han aceptado el reto de ser una generación poderosa. Esa juventud cree que el reino de los cielos está muy cerca. Por eso buscan vivir como lo hiciera el Salvador, salvando del pecado y guiando en el servicio. Los clubes juveniles atienden a niños y adolescentes, pero también se proyectan para el servicio a la comunidad. Los jóvenes y los jóvenes adultos se relacionan con sus gobiernos regionales, municipal y nacional para ofrecer sus manos y sus pies y así atraer muchos voluntarios por un mejor país. Sus líderes se preparan a través de las especialidades JA en los campamentos de pastores, reavivando su ministerio y despertando energías juveniles. Los grupos pequeños de salvación y servicio son la mejor estrategia de unidad y trabajo misionero. Cada semana nuestros jóvenes se reúnen en sus casas y en sus universidades para estudiar la palabra, escudriñar la revista Visión Joven y desde allí planear su impacto a la comunidad. De igual manera, miles de jóvenes han aceptado el reto que en Colombia se predique a través de las redes sociales para compartir el mensaje del advenimiento a todo el mundo. Hemos hecho tendencia y miles de personas han conocido ahora a una comunidad saludable y servicial, los jóvenes adventistas. Mauricio, mira, me regalaron una agenda de Ojim. ¿Tú sabes qué es Ojim? Claro que sí. La Unión Colombiana del Norte ha reconocido en el programa Un Año en Misión no solo la oportunidad de capacitar un nuevo grupo de voluntarios, sino también la oportunidad de ser la escuela de formación de una generación misionera en un programa constante. Así nuestra iglesia se prepara para la pronta segunda venida de Cristo Jesús. Hoy en Colombia celebramos las maravillas que Dios ha hecho a través de miles de jóvenes comprometidos en la misión, jóvenes que han aceptado y creen ser el sermón. Felicidades a ti, que eres el sermón de Cristo en tu país, un joven adventista. Saludos desde Colombia.
Wow. We thank you so much to Colombia for sharing with us this amazing video when we can see what are they doing in their region. And now we have an interview on Skype with Panama. So we're going to listen what they did today.
Un saludo cordial desde el puente del mundo y corazón del universo.
Greeting from the bridge of the world, heart of the world.
Hoy ha sido un día extraordinario en la Unión Panameña.
Today has been an extraordinary day in the Panama Union.
Más de 8,000 jóvenes se lanzaron a las calles,
More than 8,000 young people in the streets,
invitando a la gente a orar,
inviting the people to pray,
dando mensajes de salud,
giving message of health,
dando mensajes de familia,
message of family,
tomando presión,
taking pressures,
donando sangre,
taking blood.
Porque la juventud en Panamá está activa y viva.
Because the young people in Panama is active and alive.
Y Panamá está diciéndole a los habitantes de Panamá que Cristo viene.
The young people are telling the inhabitants of Panama that Christ is alive.
Jornadas de esperanza en todo el país.
Journey of hope throughout the country.
Los jóvenes por todas las calles de la ciudad hoy han distribuido folletos y ya orando con las personas.
Young people throughout the street of Panama have given out pamphlets about help.
En la capital ha habido un movimiento extraordinario de más de 3,000 jóvenes.
In the capital we have a movement of more than 3,000 young people.
Por las calles principales de esta ciudad ha sido advertida de la venida de Cristo.
The principal street of this street, people have been warned of the coming of Jesus.
Han sido oraciones hechas con las personas en la calle.
Prayer has been done with people in the streets.
Y algunas personas han aceptado a Jesús aquí mismo en las calles de la ciudad de Panamá.
There have been people who have accepted Jesus even there here in the streets.
Y por eso invitamos a todos los jóvenes del mundo
The reason why we ask all
a que se unan a esta cruzada
to join this crusade.
en celebración del Día de la Juventud Adventista.
Celebrating the Worldwide Youth Day.
Pero que todos los días estemos evangelizando a las personas.
But every day evangelism may be done.
Un saludo cordial a todos desde el puente del mundo y corazón del universo.
From the bridge of the world and heart of the country.
Dios les bendiga a Sudamérica, Interamérica y a todo el mundo.
South America and all over the world.
It's been such a great blessing to see how the young people all around the world has been working today, and to see that we have a video report from El Salvador.
The youth of El Salvador Union preach in the streets, and each year we're motivated to preach with words, but much more with acts of kindness. In this special day, more than 5,000 youth are participating in activities that preach the love of God. Pathfinders, adventurers, Master Guide, youth leaders, and all the youth have said Maranatha. We have visited 10 hospitals, bringing cloth, food, and literature. It has brought joy, love, and nourishment to 10 homes for the elderly. We walk along the streets distributing food, water, clothes, smiles, and the Word of God. That is why our youth continues, constant in prayer, listening to the Word, to to let the world know. This is the Youth of El Salvador Union.
Is globalyouthday.org, and you can see a map with a lot of pictures. And there's 200 people in the U.S., at least they are posting right now. There are more than 1,000 people in Brazil, and over 100 only in the islands, in the Caribbean islands. And in where? Let me see. Wow. In the Central American division is over 500 of them. So if you want to go and log in, you can share your pictures, and also you can see some of the pictures that are being sharing for some of the students and from other universities and from other unions and churches. And you can log on into globalyouthday.org. And I have a few postings to share. Let me see. In Madrid, they are giving away balloons with smiley face on them and approaching not only to older people, but also to kids. So it is very interesting how all over the world they've been doing something different. I'm clicking here into Ghana when they have a clinic on wheels. They have a clinic on wheels driving around the communities where they need it most, giving some medicine and some medical advice, and also feeding them with nutritious meals. And that's in Ghana. So all of this going around the world. If you haven't gone to the website globalyouthday.org, I ask you to please go now and check out all the great posts by our young people.
Wow, we also want to send our greetings to the East Tabasco Mission, that they say that more than 4,000 young people gathered together to celebrate this special day, sharing with others and being the sermon.
Now we're going to hear from our friends in Puerto Rico.
La juventud de Puerto Rico dice presente en el Día Mundial de la Juventud.
Puerto Rico young people say present in the Global Youth Day.
Nos unimos en este día en alma y cuerpo para llevar un mensaje como el sermón viviente.
We are united to send this message as the living message to the whole island of Puerto Rico.
A nombre de los jóvenes de Puerto Rico, bienvenidos a esta gran experiencia en este día alrededor del mundo.
In behalf of the young people of Puerto Rico, we want to extend a warm welcome to everyone that is watching us to this day, special day for the young people around the world.
Estamos bien contentos de que también jóvenes de la Universidad Adventista están participando en este evento.
And we're so happy that we also have the young people from our universities that are being part of this initiative. Yo soy el Pastor Rodríguez, pastor de la Iglesia de la Universidad Adventista de las Antillas aquí en Puerto Rico, y también nosotros nos unimos a este gran Día Mundial de la Juventud y esperamos que cada uno en su área esté disfrutando de este evento tan especial. I am Pastor Rodríguez, and at the university level we are united to this initiative, and we hope that everyone that is with us here in Puerto Rico and around the world can unite to this important event.
Hoy los jóvenes están entregando alimentos, visitando a personas enfermas y llevando amor en diferentes maneras.
Our young people are sharing the word of God through food, visiting people that are sick, and caring for others through hugs and different types of care.
Carlos Robles es uno de nuestros líderes que ha estado envuelto con los jóvenes. Carlos, ¿qué tienes que decirnos?
Hay mucho ánimo en la juventud adventista, ha salido y se han deportado, no han ido a las iglesias porque quieren vivir el sermón y están llevándolo a la comunidad que están tan necesitadas.
Our young people are motivated to go out and share the gospel of Christ. They have not been going to church this morning because they want to be the sermon by themselves.
Desde Puerto Rico, saludo para todos los jóvenes en Interamérica y alrededor del mundo.
From Puerto Rico, we extend greetings to each one of our young people that are watching us throughout the Inter-American Division and throughout the world.
Día Mundial de la Juventud. Puerto Rico, sé tú el sermón.
Let's go now to Central America and watch a Skype that will be presented by Honduras country.
Okay, muy buenas tardes a toda la juventud de la Comisión Interamericana. Soy el pastor Sarmiento de la Unión Hondureña. Estamos contentos de poder participar en este gran Día Mundial de la Juventud. Sabemos que muchos de los jóvenes han estado haciendo diferentes actividades y aquí en Honduras no es la excepción. Desde aquí, desde la iglesia de Valle de Ángeles, la iglesia central de esta ciudad, los jóvenes han salido hoy por la tarde a participar y a poder influir en la comunidad a través de las oraciones. Han pasado momentos especiales con nuestros amigos y vecinos y han estado orando con ellos en ese instante tan especial. Hay testimonios maravillosos de los niños y jóvenes que han participado en esta gran actividad. Y también hemos podido estar disfrutando del programa que se ha estado realizando en lo que es la División Interamericana con la transmisión en vivo del Día Mundial de la Juventud. Así que desde aquí de Honduras, la juventud de la iglesia de Valle de Ángeles les saluda. ¿Jóvenes?
Yeah. We are closing our participation in the Global Youth Day. Luisa, how was your experience in this day
It
for
was
you?
a wonderful day, and we are very happy to see young people all around the world involved in God's work, following God's path, give love, tell people there is hope, even if they thought there is no hope. There is hope, there is love, there is action, there is smile. This is Adventist young people.
We are really excited because this group here is used a representation of all our youth in Inter-American Division. Thousands and thousands of youth people are participating with us.
Yes.
We are happy because they are participating.
And we want to say to Gilbert, young people in Inter-American Division are powerful, and we are waiting for the next Global Youth Day. Go ahead. Thank you. Young people from Inter-American Division, we are the sermon. Let's go. We are
the sermon. Yeah. We need to be the sermon. We need to practice what we believe, because we need to go whatever we will go, we need to participate with joy. Being Christian, don't just in what we say, but we will live.
It's true. We are not talking. It's not about talking. It's about living. It's about showing. It's about touching. This is the young people, the powerful young people of Inter-American Division. This is the powerful young people all around the world. We are the sermon.
Oye, Luisa, vamos a votar por ti, yo creo. Eres
We
excelente.
will vote for you, yes.
Excelente. Qué bueno que tenemos a un grupo de jóvenes
It is wonderful to have.
que quieren seguir colaborando en este programa de servicio.
It is wonderful to have a group
Quiero
of young people
presentarles
that
al
want to
nuevo pastor
contribute
juvenil.
in this service.
Quiero presentarles al nuevo pastor juvenil.
We would like to introduce to you
Universidad de Montemorelos.
our new youth pastor here in
Quiero
Montemorelos
que le
University.
digas a nuestro auditorio cómo te sientes con esta fuerza juvenil en la Universidad
And
de
I would like
Montemorelos.
to ask you how you feel about this force of young people in Montemorelos University.
As you have seen, this group of youth, they were ready to participate on this Sabbath, on this Global Youth Day, since weeks ago, but they started on this past Thursday, visiting different communities with different programs to show them how Jesus can be the difference in their lives. So as you see them, they have energy, They have ideas. They are ready not only to be professionals, but to preach the Word of God, wherever the Lord will send them.
Y en términos de que ellos, como parte de su plan de estudios, hacen servicio comunitario.
And in terms of them,
¿Cómo piensas que lo puedes unir al programa de ministerio juvenil?
As part of the curriculum, they're doing community service. How could you unite that into youth ministry?
Many people think that being a Christian is just to come to the church on Sabbath or on Wednesday or Friday night. But in this university, every student has the opportunity to take the church out during the weekdays, like on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Tuesdays. So there is an extension of the church, the community service that the university provides for them, and on a weekly basis.
Muy bien. El pastor Irán Ruiz, que se está retirando de pastor juvenil de la iglesia de la universidad. Dile 2 consejos al pastor Francisco Soto para que los jóvenes participen en el servicio comunitario.
You that are giving up your position as a youth pastor, give Francisco Soto 2 counsels for young people.
El primero sería involúcrate con ellos.
Number 1, get involved with them.
Y el segundo, nunca lo abandones aunque parezcan que las cosas no están saliendo bien.
And number 2, never abandon them even though things might seem not to be going well.
Ellos sabrán que nosotros somos la inspiración y ellos pueden ser también el sermón juntos.
They will know that we are of inspiration and they too can be a sermon.
Necesitan un líder que haga lo que decimos que ellos tienen que hacer.
We need a leader that is willing to do what we say that they should do.
Tenemos una bendición muy especial en este Día de la Juventud.
We have a very special blessing this
Tenemos
youth day.
al director de jóvenes, director del Campus Ministry de la Asociación General, y tenemos al director de Campus Ministry de la División, y yo quisiera que nos dieran las palabras finales de despedida.
We have the campus ministry leader of the World Church and also of the Inter-American Division.
10 seconds. Love young people. Be an agent of God's grace. Spread the everlasting gospel. Be the sermon. 1, 2, 3. Be the sermon.
Global Youth Day.
We want to thank you to our amazing hosts from Inter-American Division and for the great stories that they shared with us. And we discovered one more time that Global Youth Day, it's about be the sermon and be present there with all your soul and doing all the things that you can do.
Definitely, Christian. I mean, we've been able to have a look into some active projects that have really transformed and helped us see the way that we view ministry and evangelism. You were telling me a little bit about the homeless story, about how they brought the clothes, and there was something quite profound that came out of that. Could you share?
Yes, when I saw with how much care they were speaking with all those people, and was very concerned about them, I say that this is the main thing that God did for every one of us. He's concerned of every one of us, and maybe Global Youth Day is about telling the people that God is caring of them in a special way.
Definitely. I loved how they came and brought the clothes to the homeless people and valued them. The reality is, in many demographics that we look at, or people who are unfortunate, we can devalue them in our minds. God doesn't see them that way. God values everyone equally. But the reality is once we push ourselves into active, practical ministry, we move from our view to God's view. This is the power of being the sermon. It's the power of being active and gaining His wisdom and His vision.
And also, being the sermon means to be present in people's life where they are with what they are needed. And I remember of those young people from Curacao who are cleaning the cars and who are giving water to stop the bus for giving water to the people who are there.
Creative, so creative. I think that's what Jesus calls us to be. Creative to reach people in this day and age. It's about listening. It's about trying to find a way and a means to get into people's lives. I love it. I love it. It's beautiful that we as a world church from this level can really impact people in positive ways. Well,
so for our viewers who are going now, who are continue to be with us for the next hour, we invite them to not forget to put their stories on the app. And also we want to say welcome to our last host.
Yes, we do. It's been a marathon, 24 hours.
Indeed.
For those who are just joining us, welcome. Be prepared for a wonderful sum up. We want to welcome now the General Conference Hope Channel studio in Silver Springs, and we want to ask them to take over now as they wrap up. So we want to hand over everything all the way over to Erica and Sergio in the studio in the Hope Channel. Remember to be the sermon.
Welcome to the Global Youth Day finale. It's been a crazy 24 hours. We're really excited that you